Vue.js allows us to define filters that can be used to apply common text formatting. So let me show you an example. Right now I'm under 09 filter.html. In this case, we have an input box and we can input message. This V model creates a two-way binding between this input box and the message property in data object. So if I type something here, this message will be displayed here. For example, hello. Now I have a requirement, a task. That is, can we change the very first character from lowercase to uppercase? In other words, make sure that whatever user types here, the very first letter should be uppercase. So think about how we can do this. Of course, we can use event plus method. That is, once users stop typing, then we're going to call a method to retrieve the very first letter. If it's lowercase, we convert it to upper. If it's upper, then leave it there. No problem. But Vue provides a concept called filter, and we can do this using a filter. So it's really your choice. First, we're going to define a global filter. Later on, I'm going to show you how to define a local filter. That is, you can only use this filter in this current HTML. It's very similar to custom directives, where you can define both global and local. I'm going to define a global filter. Here is the syntax. Vue.filter. In this filter, we're going to pass two arguments. First one is the name of the filter. So let's call this upper. We're going to change the very first letter to upper. And then we're going to define this filter. So we're going to pass a function to it. In other words, how can we convert the first letter to uppercase? This function receives a value, which is the value that we're going to filter, right? We're going to call it value. It doesn't really matter what to call it. I just call it val. And we're going to return a formatted value. Well, in this case, the value will be hello in lowercase. So value dot char at 0, because we're going to take the very first character and convert it to uppercase. Well, that's not enough because we only get the very first character, right? We also need to concatenate with everything but the first character. So we can use val.slice, and this is the begin index. So this syntax gives me everything but the very first character. Because the first character has already been converted to upper, then after we do this, we got a H uppercase ELLO. Okay, then how do we use this filter? If I refresh, okay, and I type hello again, it's still here, right? Because we didn't apply this filter to this message. Now, the way we apply this filter is using something called a pipe symbol. Now, if you're familiar with Unix, this is the pipe, okay? We're going to use this upper filter. We're going to filter this message. So this is the original message. So all lowercase. Now, once it goes through our filter, it becomes, hello. The first one is uppercase. So let me refresh. I'm going to type lowercase, hello. Okay, as you can see, now we have H in uppercase. Next, how can we define a local filter? It's very simple. Let's change this a little bit. If you're going to define a local something, you have to define it inside this Vue instance. After data, we're going to have a filters. And you can define as many filters as you like. But this time, I'm going to define something called lower. Okay, I'm going to convert the very first letter to lowercase. So here, function. Copy and paste. But this time, I'm going to convert the very first one to lowercase. Okay, so this is the name of the filter. All right. To make this interesting is I'll tell you that actually we can chain filters together. All right, so this is the original message. First, it goes to the first filter, upper, and then it goes to lower. So tell me, if I type hello all in lowercase, what happened? We're going to still print hello as is, right? Because first we convert it to uppercase H, and then we go to the next filter, it becomes lowercase h. That's why we use this pipe, okay? This pipe symbol here. That is step 1, then step 2.